episode of the Planeswalkers Pub. I'm your host, Eric.
I'm Eric.
Howdy, it's RJ. Today we are going to be talking about the differences between a Spike, a Timmy, and a Johnny player. But first, let's talk about our signature card.
Yes, every episode of the Planeswalkers Pub will feature a signature card that may or may not relate to the episode's topic.
Today's signature card is Apprentice Wizard. Apprentice Wizard costs 1 and 2 blue. It is a 0/1 human wizard that states, pay a blue, tap, add 3 colorless to your mana pool.
So what decks can or should this go into?
Literally every blue deck.
I see that if it was 1 and a blue, or like a blue and it did something like that, maybe, but like I feel this comes out a little too late.
I don't know.
Maybe, but if you don't have to hit your pips and you just need mana, this can fill out those.
Yeah.
It's a pseudo dark ritual.
Not even a pseudo dark ritual. How many of us actually use Thread Dynamo and stuff like that? Like just in a general deck to ramp or whatever. This, you have to filter it a little bit more, but for those desperate times you actually need stuff. Plus, if you're running 2 pips, you're probably in a mono blue deck, or at least maybe a 1 or 2 like Azorus or whatever anyway. You're probably running a bunch of counter spells. That could just work.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you could pay for Force of Will with this and not have to exile.
Yeah, which is even great. Or you can even just... I mean, we all know about blue's really good at making infinite mana for just shenanigans. Mm-hmm. And untapping and tapping things. Mm-hmm. Think about this.
Like a little... That's kind of a kickstart.
Like Freed from the Real?
Yeah, like... Just going infinite with this pretty freaking easily. Yes, you have to technically be like, oh, well, he's a creature, so he can dangerously die.
I mean, with this and Freed from the Real, you'd need a filter of some sort. You need some way to turn that colorless back into blue, which exists. There's Prismite from War of the Spark. Pay 2 mana into it, you get any color, any mana of a color of your choice. So Freed from the Real, Prismite, this guy, you have a 30-cent infinite mana combo right there.
Yeah, it's really great. I don't know,
It's actually kind of surprising how many infinite combos are that are relatively cheap.
Yeah, because you have to put the pieces on the board, and more importantly, once everyone knows about it, they're just like, yeah, we should probably not have him do that ever again.
Because, I mean, how often do you see Freed from the Real and you're immediately like, oh no, something crazy's going on?
No, you're always just like in the back of your head,
maybe something's going to happen. I mean, I had my manager, Chris, he put Freed from the Real on my Emrakul, so he could just keep tapping it down and I would never get to use it.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty clever.
Yeah, he never comboed off or anything with it.
So last week we hinted about which player type we were between Johnny, Spike, and Timmy, and we decided to talk about it in this week's episode.
We're going to be using an article that was written by Mark Rosewater to explain the
Jesus of Magic the Gathering.
The Jesus of Magic the Gathering. To explain the difference between the actual types. Although it is several years old, it still works today, and there's going to be a link down below in the description.
We should mention before we start that some people might not fit perfectly in one or another and can be 2 different types at once.
Yeah, these aren't the law.
No, there's no way you can sort every single Magic player into one of these 3.
I mean, quite honestly speaking, I think every Magic the Gathering player absorbs traits from all 3 over the course of their playtime.
Oh, definitely. First, let's talk about my guy, Timmy. I just like the name. The Timmy player, he likes to win big. He wants to smash his opponents with the big creatures and scarier spells. Timmy cares more about the quality of his wins than the quantity. At the end of the day, if the Timmy had fun, it doesn't really matter whether he won or lost.
Some card examples for a Timmy player is Verdant Force, Fireball, and almost every single dragon or dinosaur in Magic.
Craterhoof sounds like it'd be your mascot.
Oh yeah. I am such a Timmy. Like, you know me. I don't care if I win or lose. Did I do something cool this game? Awesome. Like that game where, even though I was a little heartbroken, the other day, you hit me on turn 6 with a 38 Hydra. That was fun.
That's because you were goading all my stuff and I had to stop you.
It was turn 6. My commander hadn't touched the board.
36 Hydra is pretty Timmy of you, Aaron.
And that's funny, though. Something cool happened, so I didn't really care.
Yeah.
I went off and grabbed a soda.
The Timmy player typically is... I guess if we're addressing it as in age-wise, he is typically the younger player just because it's easy to kind of find big creatures saying, hey, this is a big crazy thing. I'm just going to smash face with it.
Yeah, if I bring your health down faster than you bring my health down, then I win.
Exactly. Yeah. And everyone knows about Fireball. It's just one of the standard cards in Magic that it's a perfect finisher.
It's a burn spell. Yeah. Pay a red and X and deal that much damage.
Kind of goes without saying that the signature color of Timmy is green. Ramp up, to big mana, tap the mana for big creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the player archetypes got their own card in the unsets. Timmy Paragamer is 2 and 2 green for Summon Legend 1/1. You can pay 4 to put a creature into play from your hand. Just wait until I get my Leviathan.
Yeah, it's basically a sneak attack.
Sneak
but
attack,
permanently.
Quicksilver
Yeah.
Amulet.
Oh, it's
You
actually,
don't even have to tap it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. That's,
Then again, this is an uncard, so we're never going to play it. But it's cool,
yeah,
nonetheless.
it's basically kind of what explains what Timmy wants to do in a grand scheme of things, which is fantastic.
However, this is one of the silver bordered cards I would argue could be an acceptable commander.
I could build a deck around this. I mean, just make as much mana and get out Guardian Project, play out your entire deck.
And they're obviously way more broken and way more efficient creature swarm combos than this.
Oh, yeah.
Or even just go into standard Timmy route, get the big dumb creature. We mentioned Verdant Force. It is 5 green for a creature elemental. It's a 7/7. And it states, at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. That says each upkeep, which includes your opponents. So basically, it gets back to your turn, you've got what, 4 1/1s? Goes around again, you got now 8 1/1s?
That could be fodder for an altar.
Yeah,
And
easily.
then get a ton of mana. But that would be more into our next guy.
Which is going to be my archetype, Johnny. The Johnny player likes to win with style. Playing Magic is a way for Johnny to show off his creativity. He likes making decks that win in interesting ways, using cards that most people wouldn't go near. And Johnny cares more that his deck did its cool, unique thing than actually winning.
I mean, Aaron, you like to win. Don't
I do
play
like
me
to
like
win,
that.
but if my deck does something cool, I kind of want that to happen too.
I get that, but you want to do something cool and then win.
Yeah, like
Because you can be a bitter boy when you lose sometimes.
one of my favorite decks, just I guess combo-wise, Timmy is also inadvertently a combo player. That's just how that works. Because most combos require kind of creativity in order to figure out how to put the pieces together. It takes the card off. Just amassing a bunch of different guys, and it's like, okay, well, how can I kill these guys and bring them back and then ping the damage? Like, just like this goes into this, goes into that, goes into this. There's a really fun combo that has, especially in that deck, it's Divine Visitation, which is the enchantment that creates angels, and Requiem Angel. When a creature dies, just a creature, doesn't have to be a token or anything. When a creature dies, you get a 1/1 spirit. And because Divine Visitation is on the field, you actually get an angel instead. So if you have a sack outlet, you can sack this angel to get his spirit, which then turns to an angel, which you can then sack again.
ETBs.
Infinite sack outlets, yeah. It's a
See,
cool
like-
little combo.
Wait, by combos do you mean infinite combos or
It can even
multi-card combos?
It can even just be a multi-card combo, like a Clark Clan Ironworks, for instance. Even though it technically can go infinite, it requires basically like 4 different pieces in order to do anything.
I mean, technically, 3 creatures plus Overwhelming Stampede is a combo.
Yeah,
by the
it is.
technical sense. Card examples for Johnny are Clark Clan Ironworks, which we already mentioned, Baron Glory, and every You Win the Game card.
Yeah, which Baron Glory is also one of those you win the game cards. Baron Glory basically states it's 4 white for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control no permanents other than Baron Glory and have no cards in hand, you win the game.
There's also the classic Laboratory Maniac.
If you want to get to know our guy Johnny a little more, there is a card. Johnny Combo Player. He is 2 and 2 blue. Legendary creature, human gamer. He's a 1/1. He states, pay 4 colorless mana. Search your library for a card and put that card into your hand. Then shuffle your library. Just wait till I get my Clark Clan Ironworks, Genesis Chamber, and Grinding Station. Oh yeah, and a second Mirror Retriever.
Which is a
Did
legit
you need
part of the
to
Clark
read
Clan
it in that
Iron.
voice?
It's his creature
that
type
your
is
gamer
human
voice?
gamer. That's my gamer voice.
Alright, I love it.
I love it too. It just works out. But yeah, Johnny's really cool.
Yeah, it's a good card. I mean, it's. I'm gonna say honestly, it's a worse Urza.
The Johnny card.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tutor for anything is pretty damn powerful.
Well,
It is.
Yeah, but Urza, you're shuffling a library, then you're just putting the top card from it. So there's a good chance you're going to just whiff.
I mean, honestly, because infinite mana with Johnny Combo Player and infinite mana with Urza, you're gonna win with Urza. You might not necessarily win with infinite mana and Johnny Combo.
Well, search hard combo pieces, then use unlimited mana to combo off.
Basically.
I guess it is more creative that way.
Honestly, it's just kind of semantics at that point.
Yeah.
The 3-player archetypes kind of are semantics. Like, how do you win? How do you play?
Exactly.
And these go into the different categories.
And speaking of winning, let's talk about Spike.
A guy makes a Gitrog deck one time, and he gets this stereotyping.
I only own a land
And
deck,
last
I
but
know.
not least is Spike. Spike is the competitive player that wants to win. Spike will play whatever the best deck is and will push it to its full potential. No cards are off limits and no combo is too degenerate. Have you met me, Aaron? I play Bears and Chandra Tribal.
You play
How
Bears.
is that
Okay.
the best?
But here's the thing: you play bears, but you took bears and put guns on them, and
Put
they're shooting
guns
people.
on them.
Okay, your bear deck shouldn't be able to one punch basically the Ur Dragon, which it did.
Every bear deck is gonna be built like that.
No, some are built fun and entertaining.
I did build.
they're just-
Mine
they're
just
just
cast
throwing-
bears, makes a Eula big. All of them cast bears and make a Eula big. I don't know what more you want from bears.
I want your bear
That's
deck
literally
to
their
be-
one trick.
He wants to beat the bear deck. That's all he's saying. He wants to win because air is really the spike.
Oh, I'm sorry you're playing 2/2 commanders that can get fought with and die instantly.
I don't blame you for being a spike. I blame your friends because they turned you into that.
Quite honestly, I think
approach.
I'm more of a Johnny because I like to make decks and then see the deck do what it does. But in either case,
Card examples for a spike player: Shadow Mage Infiltrator, Factor Fiction, Force of Will.
the Gitrog monster.
So the reason why,
Tomb of Yawgmoth and Cabal Coffers.
yeah, right. So the reason why I put Force of Will in here is because although Johnny also likes counter spells, Spike is willing to pay the money to get the more expensive and the better versions of
Oh
those.
yes. Force of Will is $125 right now. I bet you.
Where's the question, Eric? How much did you buy yours for?
I did not buy mine at all
Did you?
because my friends bought a lot of cards from someone who was selling them for $150.
And the Force was in it.
Force of Will's were in them.
God bless.
It's that magic Christmas land that every Magic player wishes would happen. You know, when you go to like a yard sale
Mm-hmm.
or a flea market, and you have someone who clearly doesn't know the value of their cards.
The silver bordered card for Spike is going to be Spike Tournament Grinder. It is 2 and then 2 black Phyrexian mana. For a legendary creature, Human Gamer, she is a 1/1. It also states pay 4 Phyrexian mana, choose a card you own from outside the game that has been banned or restricted in a constructed format. Reveal that card and put it into your hand. Just wait. I have a response.
So you know how Hogak can be cast from the graveyard? Well, with this, Hogak can be cast from the ban list.
I cast Faithless Looting, Hogak. I go back in time. I cast what's her face, Harazad. I cast
Paradox Engine.
Paradox Engine.
So one of the actual ban cards, which I didn't realize was a ban card, is Sway of the Stars. It is 8 blue for sorcery, and it says each player shuffles his or her hand, graveyard, and permanents he or she controls into their library, then draw 7 cards. And then each player's life total becomes 7. That card's dope, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool.
Like, it's something that Spike can actually grab, and it's only banned to Commander. And I'm just like, originally I'm thinking, why? But I guess you can float a bunch of mana, then you can maybe shock some people or something.
You could easily just do that and then cast an unpreventable damage spell that can't be countered, like some red spell that says burn for this much. You pay the 10 mana you have saved up.
Yeah.
As the Spike player, I think you guys are thinking way too minuscule. You could probably
I'm not the spike
float a
player.
bunch of mana and then put out
Omniscience.
Omniscience or some big good creature or something that gives you an extreme edge over everyone else.
True.
Since you control Sway the Stars, you know it's coming, no one else does. So you can prepare for it and therefore screw everyone else over at the most opportune time.
Or even if it is technically a sorcery, but let's say that
With Algori.
Yeah, you flash this in right when someone's actually taking either like 10 damage or something. That's like, hey, like, you know, all right, well, I'll just block. I'm taking 10. I'm at 4 left. Who cares? You basically just flash this in. This will resolve first. They go down to 7, and they still taking that 10 damage.
Well, damage
Although-
doesn't go on the stack.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Combat.
So technically, wouldn't. Well, then you can
Thank
probably
you, Arcbound Ravager.
You can probably go with like a fireball or something like that either. Like someone else is casting a fireball.
Walking Ballista. Put that on the stack.
These are all situational combos like, oh, well, what if I have Leyline Anticipation? Sway the Stars in hand, enough mana to cast Sway the Stars, and someone does this thing. You can't think like that. The Spike player in me is disapproving of your situational ass bullshit.
Why am Timmy?
I mean, I could see Timmy being like, oh, what if this, and this happened, then Sway the Stars, then I win. No.
That's why I'm the Timmy.
Stop it.
And that's why I'm the giant. I'm just thinking about the different combos you can do with it.
But they're not even combos.
They
don't even
They're
work.
waiting for other people to do stuff that may not even happen. Like waiting someone to cast Fireball so you can do your...
It's a cool, flashy thing.
It is a cool, flashy thing, but it's a very impractical, flashy thing. That's like a Timmy-Johnny combo.
And he was questioning at the beginning of this if he's actually the Spike player. Yes, because out of the three of us, you want to win the most.
I don't want to win the most. I want
Liar.
my deck to do its thing. And then win. So I'm Spike Johnny.
If his deck isn't doing what it wants, he's not winning. That's the whole thing.
Exactly. I guess this is a nice little transition over to the combinations. So needless to say, you can switch around to be like, okay, well, I'm a Spike Johnny, I'm a Giant Timmy, Spike or whatever.
All three.
Or all three if you're really getting fancy. The main thing is that whichever your main type is, that's what you take first and then into your other one. Like for instance, I'm actually a Johnny Timmy player where I like doing combos, I like doing my cool thing, but if push comes to shove, I'll hit you in the face with a giant freaking creature and be fine. As long as, I'm having fun with it and just my deck does its cool thing.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that.
I think I'm full-blown Timmy. I don't think I'm a Johnny. I don't think I'm a Spike. I think I'm just Timmy.
I feel like that's the reason why you don't like Windgrace so much, because it's too Johnny.
It's too Johnny.
Johnny.
Which is kind of funny because you built a First Sliver deck, which is arguably competitive, which arguably puts you into Spike. But you play it like a Timmy player, but it's because the First Sliver's power is so overwhelming, you can get away with it.
I can.
I also feel like even with his Lord Windgrace deck, his main win con is like getting out a creature and then punching you in the face with it. So it's basically...
I get creatures. And recently, the reason why I took apart Windgrace is because the win con turned into Exsanguinate, Torment of Hailfire. Like, no, that's not how I want to win. I want to punch you in the face.
Yeah. And then one time I hammer cooled you with your Windgrace, I comboed with Obnixilus and Scapeshift, which I don't think... Have you ever done that before?
With Obnixilus and Scapeshift? Oh, yeah. Well, all those combos I've used before with the lands, that's what I liked with that deck, is doing land combos, not just building up mana and casting these crazy spells that just immediately kill my opponents. I'll do that and, what's her name? Titania, Protector of Argoth, make a bunch of elementals.
Then punch me in the face with it.
Omnath, and then punch you in the face with all of them.
I'm a Johnny Timmy, mostly Johnny, some Timmy. You're kind of a Timmy Johnny, where it's like you're mostly Timmy, but then you can go into giant territory if you need to.
There's some combos that I'll play, but I don't play those combos because they're combos. I play the combos because they do big scary creature things.
I was at first indignant about you putting me as Spike, but the more I thought about it,
You're a fucking
I definitely are. I definitely am. I'm a Spike Johnny.
I would let you say Spike Johnny.
I like to win, but I like my deck to do what it wants to do. Which is why I took part in my Thantis the Warweaver deck. Because it did what I wanted to do, which was force combat, but it made people force combat to me, and I was often the first person eliminated. So that's why I took the deck apart.
Yeah, and I feel like the same principle with Chandra. Like, that deck can go crazy very quickly, but you need a second to spin up.
Yeah, it's definitely a Gatling gun kind of deck. Not only does the Spike affect my deck building, it also affects how I view other people. I generally kind of expect for other people to build the best decks they can.
No.
Well, within budget and things like that sense.
Another thing about Spike, which I actually didn't put on the actual outline, but I'm just mentioning in general because it was actually inside of the article, is that they are basically net deckers, where they will actually go online, find the best version of this deck, and actually make it to the best possible thing. I feel like that's kind of what you do. You don't really necessarily go online, but you definitely have, this is how best they could possibly be. Let's put it to that level and see what happens.
I don't do that. I look at EDH Rec and be like, what kind of cards go into the stack? And I'll be like, okay. And then I'll put some in. I don't look at a deck list, look at groups of cards that would go into that deck. So I took those ideas from EDH Rec, and maybe that's net decking, but I didn't copy someone else's deck like word for word.
It also states inside the article that Johnny more or less focuses on, he actually likes to build the decks more than actually playing them sometimes. I found that's kind of me too. I just like, I don't know, the combinations of everything. Alright, so that was fun. Now let's actually jump over to our favorite step, which is going to be Last Call!
Last Call?
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Okay, final thought, and a question for the people listening. What player type are you? Are you Spike, Johnny, Eric?
Are you Eric?
Are you Eric? Let us know in the comments.
Thanks for watching this episode of Marcus Pub, and make sure to subscribe for new episodes every week. We're also on Twitter, so make sure to follow and retweet our bullshit. I find it kind of weird that black, blue, and green each have their own color type, or player archetype, but red and white don't.
So then I guess the next question would be as well, if you could actually create a card, what would it actually be for, like, the different archetypes, I guess, for the other two colors?
White would be Janet, and it would be just stacks and angels.
Well, no, I think white would be, like, tokens or something.
White would be a middle-aged mom with the
with the haircut
who demands to see her manager as she gains life and protects her creature.
Pay for mana, pull the judge up to the table.
Pay for mana, you gain 20 life. Just something just broken.
Yeah. And the red player is an anarchist who just wants to burn everything down.
Pay for wheel.
Oh, that'd be amazing, actually.
Pay for deal 10 damage to everyone.
For each permanent they control.
That sounds more red.
It's like red doesn't really have that many permanents on the field anyway, so yeah, it's like, deals 2 damage to each player for each permanent they control. Like, that sounds really, really cool.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
May the light of Emrakul shine upon you.